Hey, it's Pat, and let's talk about this week's top model. And before I get started, let me say that this week's episode was some bullshit. Some bullshit. I'll tell you why in a minute. First off, for this week's challenge, the girls had to ride a roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm amusement park, and they had to get their photo taken on one of those things where, it snaps your picture on the roller coaster where your face is smeared back like that. Nigel and Miss J each gave them a sort of reference, the emotion to do while on the ride, and it was kind of crazy. The winner of the photo shoot got to have their picture taken by Tyra for Tyra.com, which will be on the internet now, I guess, or tomorrow morning after the show. And that winner was Liz, and Liz's emotion was Happy Catalog, which I think was kind of bullshit anyway. She was the winner when all she had to do was look really happy and smile, when all of the other girls had, doubtful suspicion and wondrous thoughtfulness and melancholy solemnness, and she had, happy smiles. Bullshit number one. Liz picked Kayla and Chris to go on the photo shoot with her, so they got to shoot with Tyra. They're going to be on Tyra.com, and they got to have tea with Tyra as well, and Tyra ate all of the pastries. When it came time for the actual photo shoot, they were shot by Matthew Rolston, who is an amazing photographer, big name, huge deal for the girls. And what they did was sort of lay on this table underneath a layer of water. They weren't under the water, they were under a table that was under another table full of water, and they had ocean, crabs and eels and octopus and stuff on them, and they were modeling jewelry. It was close-up beauty shots. While they were doing it, all of the girls, it was tough because they were laying down on their back, so their hair was already styled, so they couldn't move, and they had jewelry on and whatever. So they were kind of stuck in their pose. If you haven't seen the photos, you can click the link in the description or go to blogabouttthings.com and look at the photos if you want to look along with them while I talk about them. When I first saw the photos by themselves, I thought some of the poses were really weird. Chris had her hand on her forehead. Lexi was sort of choking herself. A lot of the girls were choking themselves. Then I came to find out that that's because that's how they were posed by the photographer, because they were modeling jewelry. So I'll cut them a break for that. A lot of their photos were sort of hit or miss, but I thought it was really weird. Maybe this is normal and I just don't know it. But Matthew Rolston sort of evaluated each of the girls before the shoot, but not in a way just oh, let me look at you and figure out your best angle and how I'm going to shoot you. But he was like, this side of your lip is a little less full than the other. Oh, and your eyebrows are slightly crooked. We need to correct that. It's I don't know. He's an amazing photographer, but don't you think you would just sort of work with what you got versus totally evaluating? I don't know. Just me. I'm not a photographer. Who knows? At panel, I kind of figured who was going to be in the top and who was going to be in the bottom, but oh my gosh, some bullshit again. The judges thought the opposite of basically every single photo that I liked. They didn't like, and they liked all the terrible ones, in my opinion, and that's what matters the most because I'm the only one here. They loved Chris's photo where she was putting her hand on her forehead. I don't know. Who else did they like? They liked Kendall's picture, and I thought it looked like she was sort of looking like she was trying to sit up during the photo. They didn't like Rihanna's photo very much, which I'll get to in a second. They didn't like Liz's photo, but I don't like Liz's photo either. I don't know. I don't have too much to say. Kayla looked amazing. She looked like, for reals, the Little Mermaid. Who else? I'm cheating off my notes, and I didn't even write down who I liked. Oh, they said Chelsea looked like a drag queen, but not a good drag queen. They said she looked like a drag queen who got cut from RuPaul's Drag Race really early. Sorry, Chelsea. Not the best week for you. When it came time for panel, the person called first, again, for 3 weeks in a row, was Anne. She had a beautiful photo, but I don't know if it was the best. But 3 weeks in a row, is that a record? I know you guys will comment and tell me I'm wrong, but maybe it's a record. The panel call-out order was crazy. I don't understand it. And the bottom two were Rihanna and Liz. And bullshit again, Liz definitely deserved to go home. Her picture was way worse than Rihanna. Rihanna, I don't know, maybe she's a little boring, but I knew that Tyra was not going to eliminate the girl that she got to film and shoot on Tyra.com tomorrow, because she's not going to have the eliminated girl all over the homepage of Tyra.com the night she gets eliminated. Wasn't going to happen. I know you, Tyra. I'll watch a lot of this show. So Rihanna got cut, which I guess, whatever. I don't know. I'm not really happy about it. But There's too many girls right now. Anyway, I can't even talk about them all, so just cut a few more and then we'll get into it. What did you guys think of this week's episode? I really was, like, not in agreement with the judges at all. And, I mean, there's always disagreements, you know, me and those judges. But, I don't know, I was not feeling it this week. Next week, they're going to do some runway stuff, so that should be interesting. Like I said before, if you didn't see the photos from this week or you need some more info, go to ablogabouttthings.com or click the link down here in the description to see everything and leave some comments and let me know what you think, and I'll see you next week. Bullshit.